Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, the GamingTyphoon. So today I want to talk about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I've been noticing a lot of people have been discussing this game, whether or not it's worth the price tag, which is $60, just like every other game. So I wanted to talk about that and give my thoughts on that. I'm about 12 hours into the game, so this is essentially kind of like an extended first impressions. I didn't want to make like a first impressions and rush it because this is an RPG game. And I wanted to take my time with it, and I wanted to see what there was to do in this game. So far, I'd say it's worth the $60. I've been having a lot of fun. I just passed the Namek Saga, so I'm at the part where you can play with Vegeta. I'm pretty sure if you've seen, trailers for this game, you've seen that they allow you to play with Vegeta in the Batman outfit. Wait, I guess not outfit, but he has the shirt. So that's pretty cool. Uh, One thing that I didn't think would change in this game is the combat, but I'm realizing more and more that when I upgrade my abilities and skills, that the combat evolves a lot, like a lot, and it gets a lot better as you go on. So let's talk about the progression in this game. Now, at first, the combat started off pretty slow. You couldn't really do too much. The combos were the same. But now that I'm getting more into it, like I said, I gave myself some time to, evolve the skill progression and really do things in this game. I see that you can add more hits to the combos. You can switch out super attacks and power them up. Everybody's skill tree is different. So I was thinking kind of like everybody would share the same progression, but it's different. Everybody has their own set progression skill tree, and I think that's pretty cool. It makes a lot of longevity in this game, which is something that I definitely want to talk on. Is a lot of people was really thinking that it wasn't worth the $60 price tag because we've already been through the Dragon Ball Z story over and over again. I mean, if you were playing the Budokai games and the Budokai Tenkaichi games back in the day, you already know. Though, as of recent, I'd say like Dragon Ball Fighters, Dragon Ball Heroes, and Dragon Ball Xenoverse, it hasn't really retold the original story in a while. So, really going back over this makes me realize a lot of things that I forgot about the Dragon Ball Z story. It makes me kind of look at characters differently because, now they're portrayed as, different people. Say like Vegeta, he's a cool character now, but back in the day, I realized that he was a horrible, horrible, horrible character, you know, and it just makes you, it puts that in your face, and it makes you realize like who you're really dealing with. I like that about this game. This game really focuses on accuracy in terms of how accurate it wants to be to the original Dragon Ball manga. I'm not sure about the side quests though, because there's a lot of side quests in this game that are just random. Obviously, there are things like where I had to do something for Baba. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I had to do something for her. Pretty sure that's not canon or anything like that. I don't want to use the word canon too much in this video, but I just want to give you guys an example of what I'm talking about. Now, I really want to touch on the combat because the combat is important. Obviously, it's one of the main things in terms of gameplay that you're going to be doing outside of flying around. I'll get onto that later. But the combat, it starts off slow, kind of samey. You're doing the same combos. Essentially, this feels like Naruto. And I know that's crazy because CyberConnect 2 did make this game, but this feels like the Naruto Storm games. Essentially, you have one button for attacking, one button for key blast, one button for charging, another button for dashing, and then it does take the Xenoverse formula where you press like L1 and then you hit square, triangle, whatever, and then you do your super attack. So it takes from Xenoverse there, but the combat, like I said, it starts off slow, but as soon as you start to, unlock things, it's gonna take, I'd say around level 20 or so, level 30. I'm only level 34 with Vegeta, and level 32 with Gohan. I just beat the Namek Saga, and the combat is starting to evolve. I mean, honestly, it feels like the more I play this game, the bigger and bigger and more complex it gets, and the more things you unlock. And I know that's kind of with every game, but this one especially because it seemed like it would be how it was all the way in to the end, you know. And I wouldn't have necessarily been mad at that. A little disappointed, of course, but I wouldn't have been mad at that. But I like the progression system and the combat that they have so far. It's pretty cool, and I'm really enjoying it. The one thing that I do not like is when you're fighting bosses, right? Or just enemies in general, is that they have this state where they don't flinch. They're charging up and they do essentially this powered up move, and you can't hit them. The thing is that I'll be like, essentially, I'll be mashing the button, and that might be my fault, but I'll be mashing the button, and I can't like evade the way that I need to get out of the way of this attack. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I just take unnecessary damage, and it's like, I was pressing the button to dodge this attack like for 2 seconds, and it just wouldn't happen. Like he's still doing the combo, so that feels weird sometimes. And like I said, it's caused me to take unnecessary damage. I have died a couple times, not really too much. The only person that I've really struggled on is the Doria, and there's these little side quests where essentially you have, okay, say how Gohan has the Masenko, right? You go to these training ground missions and you unlock Super Masenko, and they put you up against, uh, yourself and sometimes other allies like Piccolo, Krillin, et cetera, et cetera. For Vegeta, it would be like Raditz and Nappa, and you have to fight them to unlock that move. That's the only part of the game that I really struggle. Um, though I will say this: when you first start the game and you're encountering enemies, it's gonna seem like, oh man, this is super easy. This isn't really nothing. You get one or two enemies every now and then. It's not that hard, but as the game progresses, like I said, more and more enemies start coming. You start getting like five enemies at a time. So these small battles that the game essentially gets you used to, because you encounter enemies a decent amount in this game. Just flying around and exploring the area, you start to realize that this game starts to get a little hard, and it becomes a little challenging. And I like that. I like that they have added some sort of challenge in this game. I didn't want to just breeze through it. Something else that I heard that kind of confused me, honestly, was the fact that people said that the graphics in this game weren't good. Now, I disagree with that wholeheartedly. Now, the game looks good no matter where you play it, whether you play it on base PS4, PS4 Pro, Xbox One X. It looks good. But I've been playing it on PC, and I will tell you right now, this is one of the best looking games I've seen. At least one of the best looking Dragon Ball games that I've played in recent years. Anything that even comes relatively close to this game is Fighters. I'm still trying to figure out which one I like more. I really enjoy the graphics in Dragon Ball Fighters, but this game is absolutely beautiful. When you're flying through the water, it's trails. It shows that you're flying through the water. When you're going through the ground is ripping up as you're flying. It's really cool. I like the small attention to detail in absolutely everything. I mean, this game is literally fan service to the fullest extent, and I really enjoy that. And it makes me really enjoy being a Dragon Ball fan again. Because in recent years, not saying that I didn't like Dragon Ball, but my love for Dragon Ball, has waned a little bit as I've, gone out and experienced more animes and different shows and whatnot. But this makes me really happy that I'm a Dragon Ball fan, and it takes me through this huge wave of nostalgia. When I go back and I play some of these scenes, and I'm like, man, I forgot about that. Or, Man, I can't believe they remembered to put this in the game. It's beautiful. So in conclusion, yeah, I think Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is definitely worth the price tag. It's gonna give you plenty of hours worth of content and things to do. I haven't ran out of things to do, and so far I haven't been bored at all. It's a really good experience, and I think it's a really good way to start the year off. 2020 is definitely starting to look promising if games are gonna be of this quality. So with that being said, I'll catch you all next video. Peace out.